Hello, Heidi here, back with the client story. This just came up today and I thought, I need to record a video on this story because it's really interesting. So my client, I'd solved her case several months ago, and she came in my private messengers today, and she was just a screenshot, and it was a screenshot of a paternity match. So I had solved her case and it was down to two brothers, but one was more likely because he was at the right time, right place. So when she had a half aunt, not a half aunt match, she had an aunt match that she didn't know if it was an aunt or a half sibling. And so I was able to quickly discover that she was a full aunt because my client had DNA to both her dad and her mother. So if she was a half sibling, she just would have had DNA to the dad's side. So the story of her conception was her mother was married to a very abusive man that forced her mother to be a prostitute. My client, Anne, quotes, never knew that there was a question mark regarding her paternity. She took the DNA test for fun. So when she got back the results and she could see that there was a surname that was common in her DNA matches, she asked her mother, "How am I related to the Smiths?" And her mother then fessed up and said, you know, I've never told you the story, but told her about being forced to be a prostitute, and she just never told her to try and protect her. Of course, my client was devastated. She had no idea she was an NPE. NPE means not parent expected or not paternal event. And she was just devastated, like, you know, all NPEs are. So I had asked her to reach out to the aunt's brother that was closest in proximity to the right location. And when she did, he said, "No, that's not me. I've never been with anybody that I don't know, and you know, DNA is not science. It's a fake." Thought she was a scam. He denied everything. But she was armed. She had done her research, and she had taken part of my conversation that I had with her and went back to him and explained the DNA networks and that she had DNA to both his mom and dad, and his sister matched as a full aunt. And so he couldn't deny it anymore, and they get to emailing and he agrees to take a test. You already heard that part of the story, that he came back as her father. I asked her, "How do you feel about your mom in this story? Do y'all have a relationship?" And she said that the relationship was toxic even before the DNA surprise. And this didn't help, you know, when she told her mother, the mother made it about her and wasn't sensitive to how Anne was feeling at all. So it made the relationship even rockier, to the point where Anne decided to cut her off in September. The good news that came out of this story is my client cutting off mom had a big effect on mom. Mom did not like having Anne not in her life. So her mom has done a turnaround here recently and has, you know, asked for forgiveness and is really trying hard to have to right her wrong, and is trying to have a relationship with her. I asked her if Ed, I asked her if Ed is aware that her mother was a prostitute, and she says he has memory loss from the whole thing. Of course, you know, this was in the early 70s. He was stationed at the Navy base where her mom was working, and he was a 20-year-old sailor. So, you know, back then, you know, that occupation was more normalized, and there wasn't as much of a stigma with it. So it is what it is, and she's just glad that she's here. She has siblings, and she'd already been in contact with one half-sister who she really hit it off well with, and the others were kind of just, not really responding to her. But last night when they got back the DNA results and saw that they did share a dad, one of the brothers reached out to her and said, "I'd like to have a relationship with you." And you're probably wondering, what did Ed say when the DNA results came back? And that was my question too. Well, what does Ed have to say about this? And Anne said that Ed's last question in his email was, well, how would you like to proceed? She wants to take things slow. She's a smart girl, and she would like to have some sort of a relationship with him. I get the feeling that she's really more invested in a relationship with her siblings, and it was a rocky situation there for a while, but I could tell you, she's elated. It's been a lot of emotions these last 24 hours. So that's going to conclude my story. I have noticed in the comments, people are asking how to get a hold of us. Of course, we're DNAngels. We have a website. DNAangels is 1A. And if you go to the website, there's a link. Oh, it's windy out here in South Texas today. If you go to the website, there's a link, and it says request a search angel. You'll be connected with one of our intake coordinator, and we would absolutely love to help you. We never charge to find a biological parent. If you're looking for a grandparent or a great-grandparent, there is a very nominal charge for that compared to what the industry standards are, but we do those as well. Those are basically just to keep our lights on so that we're able to continue to do our work, because what is free to you is not free to us. There's a lot of subscriptions that have to be paid for, so those are the reasons for those paid services. Anyway, as always, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I've seen a lot of new subscribers. It makes my heart very happy. And you can comment, and you can even share this video if you'd like. Thank you.